29.
Banfield the job on Riccardi.
So we start the second half here at Subiaco Oval. Glenn Jakovic, the star centre half-back, is on the ball for the Eagles, and up he goes and beats Barnes down to Banfield, who didn't get the first touch and get it away, but Jakovic got a kick out of the middle. And it's well picked up by Pickering. He comes out wide with his hand past a Hall. Now Colbert, his kick, too much carry, and Metropolis stands his ground and takes a good mark at half-back. There's no advantage from a mark, so it comes back to Metropolis. Shares the ball around. Lovell, back to the centre. White, clears a pack of 4 players, makes it open for Jakovic. He gains 50 metres when he goes off the ground. Graham. Switches play towards the outer side, could be dangerous, but McGrath marks just in front of ball.
So Tim McGrath, ever reliable, brings it out to Barnes, who loves to play on Johnny Barnes, and he's got a couple of options here. One of them's Lynch. He's found him. Onto Tim McGrath. Oh, he just crashes his way through and belts it out towards half-forward. 2-on-1. And Gehrig, well, when he sprints clear, I'd like to back him in a stall gift. He's very, very quick towards the half-forward. McGrath again puts the pressure on against Jason Ball. That was good play. That's very, very good play, young Cousins. Fantastic. He took them all on Cousins. Almost got a free kick. In goes Banfield. Still Banfield trying to knock it on. Oh, but he's knocked it straight to Pickering. Lynch gets it out. Tanner knocks it away back towards half-forward to Couch. Couch onto the left, smothered by Metropolis. Burns was caught high. Free kick, advantage paid. Ronnie Burns runs to 50, swings it in and hits the post. Tremendous. He is exciting to watch.
Yes, he's elusive, Pete, isn't he? He's prepared to back himself. He plays a bit like the Dockers. Wants to get around and take on the opponent.
A bit like Phil Cracker in him.
That's fair call, yes. And Gary Hocking staying on the bench too in this second half or the third quarter. He's right knee with that guard come bandage he has.
On the bench with Mansfield and McKinnon. Gary Hocking, 2 kicks in the first half, but he did have 9 handballs. Gehrig just inside the boundary line. Oh, he gave it to Simmons, who was under the pump. Back to Gehrig. Little left footer, didn't carry. Was aimed for Metropolis. And Brewer takes the mark. Make too many mistakes to be whittling away at this lead. Kick by Brewer. Stoneham got hands to it. Here's Peter Matera. Let's see some of the old magic. Goes out wide. Puts it out in front of Jakovic and says, run onto that. And he went off the ground again, but it was chopped off by Mansfield. His left footer. Thump! Riccardi! Oh, he's been too good. He's been sensational, Peter Riccardi, and he'll be kicking for his 3rd goal.
Well, the idea to kick towards Jakovic was okay, Drew. Tried to give him a chance to run onto the ball away from Barnes, but then Mansfield backed himself and came forward, made it a 2-on-1, got the advantage of the ball being socket forward, pushed forward, recovered, and the kick to Riccardi was very good. Things really are working their way.
Well, they're playing like millionaires. They're backing themselves. They've got so much confidence, the Cats. And Riccardi's left footer hits the post. 2 posters to start the second half.
Well, that might be the bit of luck the Eagles need, because they certainly need something going for them. Geelong have been far the better side, looked far more dangerous when they go forward. And luckily McIntosh is doing pretty well down there on Brownless. So stopping a few of Geelong's attacks now. David Hart brings it to half-back. Jakovic flies, can't mark. Yes, McIntosh has been moved by the looks of it down to the forward line, down to, well, towards centre-back area, I would say, as the kick comes from Metropolis up to half-forward. No mark. Oh, here's Mitchell White trying his heart out onto the left, tries to bend it through. Oh, that's an excellent goal to Mitchell White.
Yes, and the players in the midfield coming to Metropolis to say well done. The kick out was better, going long looking for Jakovic or McIntosh, and then ball nearly hangs on to this. He needs a bit of confidence to take that. And Mitchell White has always been a quality player, and his disposal very good.
So we're back in the middle, and a much needed goal for the Eagles, getting the first goal of the second half, while Geelong had hit the post twice. Barnes beats Jakovic in the middle. Tanner's hand pass back into the pack. Main Waring, no room to breathe. Cousins, he's won some hard ones. That's good. To Kemp, to Jakovic. Kick by Jakovic, wobbles a bit. Ball is there. It bounces, it bounces! I think it's a goal. Djakovic. So there he is, the 3 times best and fairest, playing in a new role on the ruck and gets an important goal.
Yes, well, Mainwaring was mauled initially, and but he may have got a free kick for too high. Might see this again. Picked up here, round the neck. Still got it forward, and Ben Cousins there just flicked it out, assisted by Kemp, and then fortuitously, that's what they need, a bit of luck.
Well, are we seeing a little bit of a revival here? 25 points now, and the crowd's chanting for the Eagles. Djakovic and Barnes. Barnes wins it. Andy Lovell gives it off. This is Drew Banfield. Again, the loose man. Racing away with this Jared Schofield into the pocket. Punched away by Graham. Oh, there. I think that was an occasion where you sort of just lack of pace by the 2 big guys. Couldn't get there quickly enough. So Geelong by 25 points, and we must remember that it is a fairly warm day, and
we saw that the other week with Carlton, Pete, but it does take its toll.
So let's see if the Eagles can get themselves back into it. Certainly 4 goals is nothing in modern day football.
And just looking at the windsock too, it's actually changed a smidge. It's blowing towards the city, which is the end left of the screen, which the Eagles are going with.
From the ball up, Pickering gets the hand pass out to Couch. His kick back to centre wing. Gehrig. So number 7 gives it to number 7, but didn't mean to. Kick by Fraser Gehrig. Half distance pass on the bounce. Lovell. Back to Peter Matera. Thumps it as long as he can. Well inside the 50. Barnes as well there. Chance for Morrison to run on. Phil Matera put on a good tackle. Ball, say the crowd. Mansfield out of defence round the boundary line. Sanderson to Couch, who marks at half back for the Cats. 66-41, 25 points the lead to Geelong.
So Paul Couch looking for Riccardi. Matera front position. That was better play by Matera. Mainwaring, a quick hand pass, and he handballs it over the line. It's on centre wing. 25 points only the margin now. West Coast coming at the Cats, and the Couch, I think it is, coming off.
Hocking to come back on.
Gary Hocking on, Couch off. Now, they go forward again, West Coast through Banfield. Oh, good mark, very good mark taken up there by Ben Graham. And again, that lack of speed to get the front position. Now, Barnes dodges, ran a long way. Oh, just about to pig him, the umpire. McGrath tackled, a loose ball. Mitchell White's been very, very good. Here's a man on his own. I think it's Philip Matera. Can he trap it? Oh, just didn't bounce his way. Here's Derek Hall. Gives it off to Sanderson, and that forward line, gee, it breaks down when the pressure's on the Eagles.
Will Barnes kick it?
And Barnes this time chips it around, and he finds Colbert.
Lee Colbert at centre wing. Up to half forward. Stoneham with one hand. Can't control it, and the ball out of play. Now Johnny Barnes is coming off the ground. Mensch replacing him in the ruck. And Barnes really mucked it up for the Cats back there at right half back.
I'm not sure what he was thinking there, Drew. I mean, he had the opportunity to kick a few times.
Now it's at half forward for Geelong.
Well, that's
Stoneham palms down. Burns.
the quickest interchange ever I've just seen. Barnes went off for 2 seconds.
He came back on again.
Mitch ran on the ground, then had to run off again.
The free kick's going back to Banfield here.
So Drew Banfield from half-back flank. McGrath. Outmarks Ball.
Well, both Ball and White, Drew, had led forward, and Banfield just kicked right over their head.
Now Scholl. The thump, the Cats back into attack. Brewer climbs, can't mark. Gee, looks good. Fraser Gehrig to half forward, over the head of Cousins, and the mark taken by Sanderson. It's going between the half-back lines here, backwards and forwards. Off hands to Stoneham. Caught by Kemp, one of the top tacklers. Riccardi can't get his fist to it. Went without it. Peter Matera hand passing to himself. Grabbed by Hocking. And free kick to Matera. Crowd want 50. But it's not coming.
Gee, Gee, I reckon the next goal is vitally important in this game.
Stonham's in trouble. He's limping.
Oh, an ordinary kick by Matera. Oh, it's kept in down here by Schofield. Oh, cleverly done. He breaks the tackle. Has a bounce. Let's see if that forward line will function now. Here's a chance for a mark. And it has taken up there by Spinks.
Stoneham coming off.
Yep. He's limping. Let's hope he hasn't hurt that leg again.
So Mensch comes on to be picked up by Gehrig. And Spinks a long way out. Oh, there's leads coming from everywhere. Pretty crowded forward line at the moment. Brett Spinks. He's kicked one goal. He puts it up high. It starts to swing. It's up in the square. It's a mark to Jason Ball. Oh, the Eagles are coming at Geelong.
Yes, that's a good effort. Spinks had Djakovic on a short lead and he ignored him. He's just going to say...
And it's a goal. Jason Ball has kicked his first after a very good mark in the square. And now the margin's only 19.
Well, the four big fellows, Spinks, Djakovic, Ball and White, have all featured in this resurgence. That's what they need, Pete.
Stoneham getting some treatment. He's back from a broken leg. Let's hope it's not a complication with that. Well, Geelong have kicked 2 posters in this quarter, and 3 straight goals to the West Coast Eagles have given them new heart. Djakovic wins in the middle, knocked on by Philip Matera. Well done, Colbert. To Scholl, subterranean hand pass. Sanderson to Hocking just off the bench. Brewer on the 50. Pulls in a one-hander.
It's a good catch.
Keeps the pass low. Riccardi again. Well, he's running off Peter Matera, and he's saying, well, you catch me. In the past, it's always been, well, you have to catch Peter Matera.
Yeah, she's taken it right up to him, and he's now come back onto, Matera's now come back onto Riccardi on that wing, and Banfield's gone on to Lynch.
So, this for a steadier for the Cats, who have gone 11 minutes in this quarter without a goal, and they started the half 35 points in front. 40 metres out, Peter Riccardi, and has kicked his third.
Yes, and the runner, Tim Jip, out to Matera, and Matera gesticulating there, not happy with obviously what the message is, saying, well, what else can I do? And maybe a little bit of confusion about who's on who. But we see this again. Great grab by Brewer, and Riccardi just finding the space. He also had Lord behind him.
So back to the centre, with Darren Goldspink about to bounce it. Barnes and Djakovic. And Barnes won it. Matera with, oh, look at the pace. He got to that ball first. Matera hooks it back. The pack develops over the back to Spinks. It was a ball, in fact. And he had support from Morrison. It is Jason Ball. Now, he thought about giving it off to Schofield. Very slow to move this. Now, Barnes has gone back to the square, so he can't kick it long. Barnes is on his own. Now he's going to kick it wide. Oh, it just got there. Mark dropped though by Mainwaring there. What's he going to do? Oh, he dummies. Now he kicks it high. They need a mark. It's a long kick. This might be a goal. No, it's punched through. And for a behind by Brad Scholl.
Off the ball, they were double teaming Peter Matera here. Banfield's gone back there, and Matera was there as well.
Yes, because Riccardi wants to run with Matera. Banfield wants to run with Riccardi. So there's a 2-on-1 there.
Kick in, sits up well for Colbert.
It's a clever kick.
Yeah, gained 20 odd metres with that one. Now Stoneham off the ground. Let's hope this isn't a recurrence of a leg injury. Lammy?
Drew, they're icing up now, and he obviously fell awkwardly when he came down. I don't think he'll play any further part in the game, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term injury.
Oh, that's good, because so many players have been coming back from long-term injuries and going out again. Here's Matera at the back of that boundary throw-in pack. High ball to centre half forward. Ball crashes the pack. Here's young Cousins. Palms the ball out. Lovell. No one back there for the Eagles. Kicked it straight to Graham. Graham, oh, he's given it up. Matera, rather Mainwaring, right in front, 40 metres out.
It's an important kick too. Without putting the moz on him, he's just got to make sure he puts this through. There it is. just a floater. It was a nothing kick, either Hocking or the player further out. I couldn't pick who it was. Found the gap between his two teammates.
Well, this could be 4 goals to 1 this quarter if Chris Mainwaring can manage a goal out of this.
Just testing to see what the mark was.
I'll have a second shot here, he says.
13th disposal, 40 metres out. It's away to the right, stays right. The silence will tell you that.
Well, I'd go as far as to say never looked like kicking that goal. He was not confident and kicked it far too high. As we see Ben Graham going short again. He finds Scholl. Brad Scholl's been a terrific player for Geelong since coming from North Melbourne. He's been a real find. He's an attacking back pocket player. Look at him coming down the middle of the ground. A couple of bounces, then he brings it in a chip kick. Now, Matera should mark this. Now he's got the pace to race back after it. Brewer's pretty quick also, but look at Matera going. Still going after it. Peter Matera. Gee, that was good football. He got a free kick. But he brings it into half forward. A poor kick this time and gives it straight to Michael Mansfield.
Peter Matera's had 15 disposals. Here's McGrath towards the centre of the ground to Hall. A West Australian back home. Kick by Hall wide to Colbert at half forward. With him is Schofield. Colbert's had an excellent game. Back to Tanner. Tanner to Brownless. Oh, he was taken out. A big clash of bodies.
Metropolis is down.
Yeah, he got the worst of it.
Simmons sweeps up. McIntosh just gets rid of the hand pass. Hart. Now they've taken it to the outer side. This is what they wanted. David Hart goes the run and bounce. He draws Riccardi. That's Riccardi's man, Banfield. Kick by Banfield to half forward. Ball has to turn back and it's too long for Ball and it makes it easy for the Cat defenders. Scholl.
Well, I actually blame the forwards for that. Their lack of movement up there cost them the Eagles. Taken away by Mainwaring. On the Matera. Peter Matera too slow. He's caught holding the ball. He wasn't aware of the man coming after him. The umpire's played advantage. Now he's taking it back because it didn't work to advantage. That's Aaron Lord. Here's a man on his own. It's Derek Hall. He can dummy here and go over the top. He will. This is Tanner. Will he go back to Hall? He can come inside if he wants. No. He's going to bring it down towards Mensch. Mensch and Gehrig. Gehrig at the back. Good play by Fraser Gehrig. But it's a free kick in the meantime. Now, is that advantage paid? No.
He's paid the mark, I think.
He's paid the mark, has he?
Yes,
well,
Metropolis has come off and Lyle's gone back on and Gary Hocking's come off again and McKinnon's back on. So Lyle will now pick up McKinnon.
So Gehrig is kicking to the outer side of the ground. A one-on-one contest out here. Mainwaring. He's against Aaron Lord. Lord ducks, caught high around the neck. Advantage paid as they race away with it. This is Liam Pickering in towards the pocket. Billy Brownless. Oh, he's shoved out of it, taken by Burns. Burns can do the miraculous. He almost did. He bent it back and it bounced up and hit the post.
They've had 3 posters this quarter. Well, with Hocking going to the bench, what a bench the Cats have with Hocking, Couch and Stoneham there. Here's Simmons. The Eagles have definitely given them themselves a chance in this game in this third quarter. Mark dropped by Hall. 73 to 49, it's 24 points the difference. And Grant Tanner, the rifleman, has it in the centre of the ground to Colbert. And Lee Colbert, 16 possessions. Just taking his 5th mark. McKinnon just off the bench, in front, 50 metres out.
Be a chance from there, Drew, too.
Yep, Marty McKinnon, former Adelaide pro. Just offline and through for a behind. So the disease which had struck the Eagles early in the game is now striking Geelong. And in this quarter, they've kicked 1 goal 4.
Metropolis is all right, and he's back on. Sorry, Pete.
Matera versus Colbert. The 2-on-1 will always win out. Now this is Mensch. Mensch brings it into Brownless. Gee, McIntosh doing well on him, but here's Burns. Tries to bend it back. He's kicked another behind. But gee, you're going to hand it to McIntosh. They've been pelting it down there.
Yes.
Ross and McIntosh has been good.
Well, I must say, one of the hiccups in Billy Brownless' game, when he leads like that, he's got to run and jump, he's got pressure from behind. He doesn't hold as many marks as he should in that situation. We have stronger hands.
Short kick in, and this is Jared Schofield.
Burns has kicked 3 behinds himself in this quarter. Peter Matera, half back to half forward. Mitchell White. Chance here for the Eagles. Down towards the pocket. Spinks. It was very wide, away from the goal square, and has gone out of play. 5 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Geelong by 26 points. They led by 31 at quarter time and 35 points at half time. A blistering start by the Cats here today when they kicked 8-2 in the first quarter. Barnes works to the front. Sanderson. Here's danger. Mainwaring, 35 metres out. Goal! He gets his second, and here come the Eagles.
Yes, and that's the inspirational goal they wanted from one of their leaders. Forcing themselves to the pocket too much, the Eagles. They've got to try and straighten up and come more toward the centre. Mainwaring just mopped up beautifully there.
The Cats by 20 points. Mickey Malthouse is striding around the boundary line. Jakovic with the left hand. The bounce very important here. Mainwaring bends it back towards half forward. Jason Ball gets it to White. White's been very, very good. Spinks is out wide. Racing with him is Cousins to try and help him. Will he get it to Cousins? No, he goes inside to Philip Matera. He races into the pocket. He kicks a goal. He's missed. And the crowd rose in anticipation. But the Eagles getting on top here, Ross.
Oh, yes. The question has been their best quarter. And everyone's had a bit of a lift and all had a hand in this resurgence.
Philip Matera in his first game has kicked 3 behind, still yet to get a goal. Paul marks the kick in. 4.5 minutes to three-quarter time. Graham to the centre of the ground. 2 against 2. Colbert. Oh, he's got the build just about of a key position player, and he's been played virtually as a ruck rover in the middle of the ground at centre bounces. Terrific display by Lee Colbert. That's his 6th mark. Short pass, and McKinnon takes the mark centre wing. Steadying things down. The Cats have kicked only 3 goals since quarter time. So really they're relying on their first quarter burst, which was a long time ago now. Tanner's kick inside the 50, off hands to Brownless. Brewer, in he goes. Liam Pickering. He bananaed a goal. Second goal for Liam Pickering, and much needed for the Cats.
Yes, and I think they did the right thing too. There was things were just starting to get away from the little, and that build-up, they really just settled down. They chipped it around 3 or 4 times, 20 metres or so, without going long looking for Brownless or the key position forward. In the end, they got the right option, and then Pickering has had a pretty good duel with Kemp today. Finished off.
A real steady of that one from the Cats. Again, Jakovic to take on Barnes. Barnes won it. Andy Lovell kicks in mid-air towards half forward. Cousins is there. Simmons also. Simmons racing away with it. Gets in a hand pass towards centre wing.
Schofield's down too, Pete. He's got crashed there.
Morrison brings it in towards half forward. And the mark has been taken there by McKinnon. Of it is to Scholl. Now Barnes. Further field to Hall. And Geelong have steadied a little bit with these little chip passes. Retaining possession. Riccardi been outstanding. Brewer caught. Gets in a hand pass. Here's Glenn Jakovic. Gets a quick kick and it rolls round the boundary line. That might be out in the full against Geelong. And it is. And it will go to Mitchell White.
Let's have a look at this one. Schofield in the middle of the ground. And Sanderson went through him. Schofield's back up on his feet and is staying out there, but it looked for a while as though it was a lot worse than that. Just under 3 minutes to three-quarter time. White That's good to see. Schofield up on his feet. Another goal or two would be very handy for the Eagles before the last change. Schofield runs around Colbert. Boy, has he recovered. Well, the hand pass missed the target. He gets it back, though, from Spinks. And what a mighty kick. And a mark to ball. Well, I think Jared Schofield was out to show us that he was okay.
Yes, good play because nothing was happening for him. The leads were being stifled. And just an untidy kick forward wasn't going to be the advantage, so he took on the Geelong players. Gave ball a chance to take a grab.
25 points the margin. Ball gets the goal. He's kicked two, both in this quarter.
Yes, and they're certainly not out of this game. You're going to have to kick a pretty reasonable score to get back into it, but they're starting to share it a bit more, and Schofield really rode that knock from Sanderson pretty well to get back up and get going again. Did the right thing.
So the margin back to 19 points. And with this home crowd yelling for them, anything could happen. Again, Barnes gets the hit out. Schofield gets it off to Andy Lovell. Smothered off the boot. I think the umpire might know a free kick the Eagles. I thought it might have been a throw for a minute. And Schofield's had a good couple of minutes here.
Yep.
Gary Ayres down in the dugout.
And he gives it off to Jakovic. Glenn Jakovic, he's a sensible player. Long kick to Mitchell White. Gee, Mitchell White's been very good since being moved to the half-forward line.
Yes, and did the right thing there too, because Hall wanted front position, and White just, not a bad push, just enough to keep Hall out of the contest, and read it very well.
Well, it'll be down to 13 points if he kicks this, and although the slight breeze has swung around to the end that the Eagles are kicking to now, and Geelong will have that in the last quarter, I think we're in for a rip-roaring last quarter.
Particularly if Ayres brings back Couch and Hocking.
So Mitchell White puts it right through the middle for a goal, and that's his second. So the margin, there's some happy Eagles supporters, the margin back to 13 points.
Yes, and they're still possession-wise behind Geelong, but they're being a bit more direct now. Not playing with the ball too much and pushing forward, and everyone's lifting.
And Ross, they've kicked 6 goals in this quarter. They wouldn't have done that too many times this year. In fact, last week against Essendon, they only kicked 6 for the entire game. Jakovic with a big run at Barnes. Neither ruckman got a fist of the ball. It comes underfoot, and the umpire will have to do it again. Geelong by 13 points after opening up a 31-point lead at quarter time. A minute to go to three-quarter time. Barnes beats Jakovic.
Free kick against Jakovic.
Johnny Barnes will take it. Probably have a black eye on the plane tonight on the way home. The umpire's going to make him do it all again. He tried to slide the hand pass across to Scholl. Barnes kicked straight up the centre of the ground. Knocked out in defence. That was vital by McIntosh. Matera, Banfield. Back into a big pack. Simmons. McIntosh. Peter Matera. Tanner to Colbert. They're chasing harder now, the Eagles. Interception by Peter Matera. We're going to have a game here in the last quarter. He's kicked a half-back flank to White.
White gives it off to Banfield. He can go over the top. Andy Lovell. Very hurry kick, a vital possession coming up here. McGrath. Now Kemp. We've got 20 seconds to race it down there. Kemp tried to keep it in, but it went over the line. So probably doubtful whether there will be any more score with the time clock showing 18 seconds. It's on centre wing. Mickey Malthouse working Tim Jep, the runner, overtime there as it comes back to Jason Ball. Schofield's had a good quarter. In towards half forward, they fly, it hits the deck. Morrison, further afield, here's Cousins. Oh, it's just a bit slow, he should have kicked it quickly at a man on his own. Colbert, on to Mansfield, on to Barnes. Barnes back flicks it 40 metres out to the wing, he's not happy. as the siren has sounded for three-quarter time. And look at the spring and the step of Mickey Malthouse as he charges onto the ground, Ross.
Yes, well, he realises the momentum's starting to swing their way. And he's just saying something there to young Ben Cousins, saying obviously a couple of things he did. It's a way to learn in this pressure situation. There's no question the luck's starting to fall their way as well. You make your own luck, you force the ball, you get in front. And Gary Ayres just needs to steady his players if they want to control this game the last quarter.
Well, in that quarter, the Eagles added 6 goals 3 to Geelong's 2-5. So in actual fact, Geelong have only kicked 4 goals since quarter time. And at quarter time, they looked like gold diggers, millionaires. They were going like rockets. So at three-quarter time, Geelong 12-9-81 lead a resurgent West Coast 9-14-68.
So umpire Greg Scroop to bounce it. With Barnes take on Djakovic. Barnes back flicks it. Oh, Lovell went in very, very hard. Tried to shuffle out. He succeeds too. Out it comes to Mainwaring. That was well done by Cousins. A quick kick. Poor disposal. Straight to Mansfield. Slight breeze going in that Geelong is kicking to. An ordinary kick. Comes straight to Kemp. Kemp gets in a hand pass. Over the top, this is Morrison. Oh, another ordinary kick to the forward line. And the mark is taken down there by Graham. Gee, they look far more dangerous in attack, Geelong, when they go forward.
Graham gets it back from Hocking. Thumps it to centre wing. Colbert applies the tackle on Metropolis. Schofield recovered from a knock in the third quarter. It comes back to Metropolis. He copped a knock as well. Cousins now in the middle of the ground. Bundles the kick along the ground to Morrison. He was taken out when he didn't have it. No whistle on the play. Comes to McKinnon. He's kicked to centre half forward. Hall spills it. And now there's a whistle on that play. Eagles free kick. Taken by Hart, advantage. Kicked by Hart, short of half forward. Philip Matera. Lovell, caught by Barnes. Loses it in the tackle.
It's coming back over the shoulder. It's going to Lovell. And Riccardi and Hall have gone forward. Mench has gone back onto Mitchell White, who is so very dangerous.
Andy Lovell from centre wing kicks it up high. Mitchell White's got 2 to beat. The ball hits the deck. Little Cousins goes in after. Gary Hocking shuffles it out. The hurry kick is by Sanderson, but he's kicked it straight to Lovell. Lovell chips it. Who was that to? Andy Lovell. Down there is Jason Ball. Ball on the boundary line's going to bend this back. A one-on-one contest. Graham back with the flight of the ball, and he's very happy to see that ball roll over the line. The players are charging in at the football, realising this first 5 minutes is vital.
John Barnes will be a bit careful how he goes to the footy the next time. A bit untidy on the boundary there.
Barnes beats Spinks and takes clean possession. To Scholl. A half-distance kick. Good hands by Mensch at boot level. Open near the centre of the ground. Colbert. Yes, he was grabbed by Schofield before the ball got there. Free kick to Colbert. Now Sanderson. Plenty of distance in that kick up towards the 50. Hart gets back there for the Eagles. Trouble for him. Tapped on. Oh, it comes back to Ronnie Burgee. Kicks the ball in just. Loses control of it. Goes back again. Balks the head pass. Great stuff. And then kicks out of bounds.
Well, I'm going to make a comment here. The sooner they have 4 boundary umpires, the better, because that boundary umpire was 70 metres around from that. I had no idea whether that was in or out.
What do you reckon? Was it out?
Well, it could easily have been out. I'm not sure whether it was, but you can't tell from 70 metres away.
The ball moves so quickly, Pete.
So Daniel Metropolis now towards centre wing. Kemp will fly at the back. Can't mark, but he's got it. Dean Kemp ducks and weaves and then kicks it out in the fuller field here. Yes, he has. So it'll be a penalty kick here to Tim McGrath. No, it won't. It's going back to Gary Hocking. So the players realising this first goal is vital. Hocking belts it up towards half forward. A pack develops. The high flyers are there. It's no mark. They race at it. Bamfield on to David Hart. He's in trouble. It just gets a nice little touch to it. That was Schofield. Schofield can go over the top. Andy Lovell brings it in. Another ordinary kick by Lovell. That is bad play by the former Demon. And he kicks it straight to bench.
Guess where the runner's going.
Oh, Scholl a bit slow. Mensch in trouble. Back to Graham. They've cornered them here, the Eagles. Balked by Scholl, and he runs himself out of trouble. to the centre of the ground. Pickering outnumbered. Lovell trying to make up for his mistake. Kemp. Cousins at the back, pitched it, I reckon.
So that's a tough call because Sanderson was in front.
So the mark stands to Cousins. Down to Matera in the pocket. It drops short. Punched out by Scholl for a throw-in. Gee, my first look at that one with Cousins, I just thought he did rip it away from the other man's hands.
So forward pocket, Eagles scoring zone. Barnes at the back. At the front was Spinks. It's a wobbly kick. Schofield and Colbert. And a free kick going the way of... Well, it's going to Schofield. It didn't look a lot on it. He said it was too high. Let's have a look at it.
Umpire Scroop saying he interfered.
Arm across the shoulder. So umpire had a good view of it. And Matera's gone back to the square. Andy Lovell's in the square. Schofield hasn't got a tall player to kick to down there now. He's going to belt it long anyway. Here they come. Mansfield flies at the back. Oh, I thought Mansfield got a touch to that, but it's a mark anyway to Gary Hocking.
Hocking goes short. Mansfield still behind half-back. The Eagles getting desperate here. They're facing their third loss in a row. Good pick up by Pickering. Oh, he tried to palm the player off rather than dispose of the ball. Mansfield. He's left it there for the Eagles. Off the ground goes White. It's a chance. Jakovic applies the tackle. Here's Cousins, 30 metres out. The first gamer. Yes! Ben Cousins, a 17-year-old, is standing up in the heat.
Well, the number of times they had that ball inside 50, they deserved a goal here. And Barnes just taking the wrong option. He just went away from the ball, looking to cover the square, which left it 2-on-1. And well done by Ben Cousins.
Well, the Eagles' chance is going up. 7 points the margin. Here's Pickering. He's caught. Scholl. Now Philip Matera. Here's young Cousins. He's got it. Gives up the hand pass. On to Andy Lovell, who belts it long, but again, that disposal by Lovell, absolutely disgraceful. And Jason Ball, no, it wasn't. It was Brett Spinks that led. And Lovell had bombed away again.
Complete 15 metres in front of him was Mitchell White, who was clear. A handball to him. He could have turned and put one through.
Well, I think Mickey Malthouse will be saying something to Andy Lovell after the game. It's all right to get plenty of kicks, but it's what you do with them that counts. So it's forward pocket. Here's Spinks. It's in the danger area. Morrison is there. It's shuffled out, but umpire Darren Goldspink, cool in the crisis, comes in and will bounce it.
Seven points the margin on the forward line for the Eagles, but Hocking gets the hand pass to Scholl. Sanderson through centre half back he goes, over the top to Pickering. Good chase by Kemp. Another excellent tackle by Dean Kemp, but it's Bills to Tanner. On the run is McKinnon. What a tackle that was by Metropolis. It's Bills to Tanner again. Burns and Hart. Hart goes to ground. Burns back near centre wing. Into McKinnon. Thumps it as long as he can inside 50. Hocking waits. Gehrig dropped the mark. Off the ground, Simmons. Colbert. Brownless with McIntosh. Ashley McIntosh clearing. And wide open spaces here. Lovell. Now he needs to find a teammate for a change. White couldn't take the mark. McGrath.
So Tim McGrath will rebound. Brownless looks as though he's been moved out to half forward. Here's Brewer. The Cats will desperately try and get a goal. Good pass. Very good pass. He finds Riccardi. Riccardi's almost within kicking distance. He's 55 metres out. He's going for goal with a booming kick, Peter Riccardi. Have a look at that for a kick of a football. Right through the middle for a goal. That's his fourth.
That's a clever goal too, but just to assess it like that. A few of his teammates are looking pretty tired. The back half's been under pressure. Midfield, they're not getting quite as many touches here. And Brewer, sensing that he had no one to kick too long, went to Riccardi, who again had no one else on for him. They'd all come forward behind him, so long to the square. Spot on.
Terrific goal by Peter Riccardi. His 4th for the game. He's the leading goal scorer out there. Breathing space for the Cats. Colbert applies a good tackle. The umpire will ball it up again.
Sloan back in the ruck.
Well, that's great to see. We thought when he went off with a leg injury, that might have been the end of his game. And it might have been pretty serious. Jakovic back on the ball. Hocking out of the middle. The ball's still there for Gehrig. Still plenty of time to go. Just under 13 minutes. Gehrig out wide. Here's Cousins, a 17-year-old, son of Brian Cousins, who played with the Cats in the 70s. Kemp can't quite take the mark. Philip Matera in his debut game. The 3rd Matera brother to play in the AFL. Ball, high tackle by McGrath. Free kick to ball.
Yeah, definite free kick. And a couple of young kids, Matera and Cousins, just taking time to get their disposal right. Yep.
Brown is off.
Well, dangerous kick, but it comes off to Jakovic. Glenn Jakovic.
Their intentions are right. They've just got to tidy up with their passing.
So Glenn Jakovic kicks it long. At the mark, it's a mark. It speaks. Oh, push out.
He push Graham out of it.
Umpires paid the push. And Spink's not arguing.
Again, Pete, he gets in there and just push Graham right underneath it.
Now, here's Scholl. Out wide is Stoneham. And Barry Stoneham marks in the hands out in front of Jakovic. And Barry Stoneham looking for an option. Now a pack develops. Barnes. Gehrig at the back. Oh, that was Barnes got his hands to it. Here's Mansfield. Schofield did very, very well then. Gary Hocking crashes his way in. Oh, beautiful hand pass to Pickering. Pickering clear. Chips it in the half forward. Oh, Lord's dropped the mark. Simmons can get away from him. Excellent play. The Matera. McKinnon's very quick. He can run with him. And Matera will bring it down to Mitchell White, who's been very good.
Wide open forward line. Long kick in the direction of ball. He can't take the mark. Has to double back for it. McGrath first back there. Turns inboard, sweeps the hand pass to Scholl. Colbert at half-back. Just under 11 minutes remaining. 87-74. The Cats by 13 points. Wobbly old kick by Colbert, but finds Tanner. Time for a breather. Kick by Tanner in the direction of Hall. Good leap. He's now at full forward and playing on McIntosh. Here goes Derek Hall. He missed it. Brownless off the ground. McIntosh with a new opponent. If he'd kicked one then, it could nearly have been a sealer.
I was going to say, mine have just taken the sting out of the Eagles, Drew. I agree with you. Philip Matera's coming off. Lyle is coming back on.
Well, it says how well that McIntosh has played, because he was under enormous pressure down there. The ball was, they were looking for Billy. Belting it down there time and time again, and McIntosh eventually got on top. David Hart to the half-back line to Jakovic. He's got a couple of each. He's an intelligent player, Jakovic. Off the ground. Mansfield leads in the race. After him is Morrison. He used his body well. Mitchell White gets his boot to it. A quick kick out. And I think it was out in the full, was it? No, it's still in play. Didn't even go over the line at all. Here's Scholl. Crashes his way around the boundary line. That's good play. Mansfield should have been caught. Umpire calling play on. Wasn't a very good tackle by the Eagles. Here's Scholl again, puts it on the ground. That might be holding the ball. No, it's not. Quick hand passed again. Pickering. Further afield to McKinnon. McKinnon in towards half forward, and Hall hugs it to his chest. Off he goes. He can see Tanner. Oh, that's good play by Hall. And Tanner will kick for goal from 45 metres.
Ashley McIntosh looks a bit proppy there, but I think on the whole, Pete, those decisions on the outer side there were pretty right to allow the play to go on. That most of the tacklers caused the ball to spill free, and none of the players, I didn't think, took on the opposition. So you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Fair enough, as we see kicking for goal, a vital kick coming up. Grant Tanner going for his first of the game. It's a wobbly punt, but it goes right through the middle for a goal.
Pete, he becomes their 9th goal kicker, so their options up forward have been a little better than the Eagles. And whilst they look to be tiring in part, a couple of the moves have worked well. Hall's had a little bit of an impact up forward since Brownless has gone off, and Tanner Just has got on top of Mainwaring a little on that wing.
"20 points the margin with 9 1/4 minutes remaining in the game. And it'll be a tough call now for the West Coast to get up and win.
Mansfield's been taken off too, Drew. I'm not sure what for. Maybe a blood rule.
I think it's blood rules.
And Lynch has gone up. Yep.
So equal scoring shots, but 20 points the margin here. Jakovic spreads the pack. Colbert out of the middle as he's done all day. Brewer took the right option then to Pickering. His kick up towards the 50. Burns is there underneath the ball. Hardy's opponent first back onto it. Lovell to centre half back, and Mainwaring takes the mark. A staggering statistic is handballs 147 to 73.
He's off. Umpire called it too, Jakovic. It was going to hand pass, but then he sprints again. Now he gives a hand pass. Schofield, oh, good dummy. Very clever ball. He goes again. Jakovic swings onto the left. Oh, should have kicked that one back to Schofield. He dodges. Schofield again. Oh, pops it up. Kemp's a sitting duck for this one. So some of the disposal of the Eagles not all that good. Cousins charges enough. He's going to be a good player, young Cousins. And eventually Scholl knocks it over the line.
Great game to learn from, isn't it, Pete? This standard for young people like Cousins and Morrison, Tira.
Treatment for a cut there for Michael Mansfield. Spinks, plenty of bulk. He works the ball to the back. It's right in front of goal for the Eagles. Hocking a lackadaisical looking hand pass back to Scholl. That's a shocker. That put his teammate Pickering under all sorts of pressure. He's lost it, McKinnon. Play on, says the umpire. Scholl tidies up. Eventually they're out of it. Graham got it to Pickering. Centre wing. You wouldn't blame them for being tired at the moment. Now the whistle's gone. The umpire way off the play is overruled.
Free kick down the ground.
I didn't see that, Drew. I couldn't help you. I was looking down in the Geelong forward area.
Darren Goldspink signalled down the ground for some indiscretion.
Relayed free to Brewer.
So the kick in towards the half-forward line. Riccardi did that well to Lord. Here's a chance for a goal. Aaron Lord trying to bend it back. Waiting there. Oh, it's very lackadaisical about it, but he got it in the end, Gehrig. And he's going in slow motion here as he pops it up. He saw Lyle. Oh, he's just got there, Lyle. Off it goes to David Hart. They need a couple of quick goals, the Eagles. Hart is normally a very good kick. He's looking down here for Spinks. Just haven't got the mobility up forward to really pressure Geelong.
Yeah, more treatment for Mansfield there. And a report, Dwayne Lamb?
Drew, yes, he split a cut across the back of the head. He's actually getting a couple of stitches now, which he can get a close-up of.
Centre wing, a lot of players around this. Eagles free kick. Free kick count is actually 20 to 12 in favour of the Eagles. The crowd wouldn't believe it if you quoted those stats to them. Peter Matera to centre half forward. White almost taken away by his teammate Ball. Lord goes to ground. Well played by Ball. Jason Ball, but the whistle's gone. It's a high tackle, and it's going to be an Eagles free kick to Banfield. No, coming back to Jason Ball, who'll kick for goal from about the 50-metre mark. 151 handballs Geelong, 78 to the Eagles.
Yeah, well, Pickering's had 15, Scholl's had 15. This is handballs. Gary Hocking 15. He spent a fair bit of time on the bench, so they accumulate those numbers pretty quickly.
Ball desperately needs this. It's away to the right and fails to score. Out of bounds on the full.
What they could desperately need, the Eagles is, well, a full forward, or else an outstanding centre half forward. They've got the big, tall guys, about 6'5" there, but they need a little bit more mobility, the Eagles. Here's Barnes flying at the back, but it's a mark, and Majid Colbert's turning into a very good player. Might have a touch of the cramp here.
8th mark, and he's had 16 and 9, Pete.
Excellent player, Colbert.
Kicked a goal in the first quarter.
Just a touch of the cramp at the moment, and the umpire asking him if he can take his kick. No, and the umpire, Darren Goldspink, directing that Mensch has to take it.
Couch is back on. He's been on the bench for a while. replaces Lord.
So David Minch at half-back.
And Colbert comes off and Brownless back on.
And Billy, not sure where he has to go at the moment. But Minch from half-back to centre wing. Brownless, centre of the pack. Jakovic edged out of it. Brownless goes to ground, tries to hook it out. And a pack develops. And the umpire will come in and bounce it. This is umpire Brett Allen.
Yeah, Lynch off and Mansfield back on after that few stitches in the back of his scone.
Well, 20 points Geelong lead by, and the Eagles have got just under 6 minutes and a free kick here to Barnes.
Don't know whether I've actually seen a player being stitched on the boundary line. Usually go up to the rooms. Here's Mensch. Floats the hand pass over the top to McKinnon. He's crunched down by Metropolis. Play on. Here's a chance. Brewer runs into goal and just about will seal it. I think he's kicked it.
He's their 10th group.
First goal for Brewer. They brought up the ton. And I think the Eagles come back when they got to within 7 points. I think it might be all over now.
Yes, they made such a concerted effort through that third quarter and then the opening part of this last quarter to really get back into the game, and did give themselves a chance, but then Geelong had the good sense to settle, enough experience, and they've really taken back control of the tourney.
So 26 points the margin now as Jakovic. Oh, free kick to Brownless. Far too high, that tackle. And that was against Lyle. And Billy, pretty experienced, taking his time. And he's a very, very long kick of a football. Stoneham's making a lead out wide, but he elects to chip it out to Paul Couch. So valuable seconds ticking away. Just over 5 minutes left as Couch kicks it out wide, looking for Tanner. Tanner versus Mainwaring. It lobs over the back with Grant Tanner. Gives it to Brewer. Brewer chips it in. Oh, chips it in all right. Beautiful looking kick by Brewer. And he's kicked the goal. Excellent kick for his second from the boundary line. Outstanding, that was.
Well, I think that's really shut the gate now, Peter, and they really had the advantage of being able to swap a lot of their players around. And if at one stage you had Stoneham, Couch and Hocking on your bench, it's a fair bit of experience, and they've been able to utilise those players. When Stoneham's come back onto the ground into the ruck, Brownless is Stoneham's now just coming off. In fact, Brownless now has spent time on the bench now at first ruck.
Brownless climbs high over Jakovic, but it comes down to Cousins. No, that's Cousins now. That was Lyle out of the middle. Colbert just off the bench, raced in. It's going to be a Geelong free kick. Comes back to Sanderson, just at the back end of the centre square. Sanderson, 20 disposals. Brownless in short, centre wing. So it's a rarity for the Eagles, certainly in Malthouse's reign, that they've lost 3 games in a row. They lost to Brisbane by 56, Essendon by 69. They certainly have shown some signs here today, but it is another loss, and it'll be 1 win out of 4. An unusual position for the Eagles in the 90s. Gehrig. Couch just inside the boundary line. Has kicked out of bounds on the full.
Mainwaring has tried very, very hard, but look at that. That's where he lets himself down. Very poor disposal. Pickering, Couch, Gary Hocking. The lead is on by Hall, but look at McIntosh's pace to go with him. He is super quick, McIntosh. Then taps it out. That was great play to Matera. Now Matera can have a run. He'll go inside with a hand pass. Jakovic can go over the top. Schofield in trouble. Oh, dodges. Well done by Schofield. 60 metres from goal. He races in and belts it towards goal. And it clears the pack. No, a push out, I think. Darren Goldsmith has paid. It could be a Geelong free kick here. Or is it going to the Eagles?
It's going the other way.
Or is it going the other way? Let's have a look. It's going to Geelong for a push against. Well, it was against.
It must have been. It was against.
Ball.
It was against. It was Jason Ball for that push out, no question.
And a free kick to go to Tim McGrath.
Under 3.5 minutes left, and he hasn't come over the mark, says the umpire.
I think Minch is hurt. Is it Minch down here?
Graham, I think he's done a finger, might have dissipated a finger.
No, it's Graham.
So a 32-point lead now to Geelong. Just over 3 minutes remaining. The Geelong bench has worked overtime today. There's been interchanges galore. Graham off, Stoneham on. McGrath towards the outer side. Big pack. Brownless high. Can't take the mark. Hocking. Shovels the ball out. Mansfield. McKinnon. The former Crow with a turn of speed. His pass is good. A juggler, but taken by Brewer, who kicked 2 goals in a minute in the last quarter.
It's Derek Hall out wide. Geelong getting on top again. It's a wobbly kick now towards half forward. Out it comes to Couch. Tapped on towards Brewer. Metropolis is after him. Metropolis has kept at it and tried hard. And eventually now there's Ben Graham having his hand, well, it's having his hand taped here.
Nice.
And ice. So let's hope that's not a little break there. Half forward for Geelong with 2.5 minutes left in this game. Stoneham flicks it back and over the line for a throw-in.
How important was the start by the Cats today? They led by 31 points at quarter time. They lead by 32 now. So the rest of the game's been even.
Yes, no, you're right.
Lovell. Just outside the 50. Popped up by Pickering for Couch. A dive by Riccardi, not this time. Taken by Banfield, who certainly has quietened Riccardi since he went there. White. Cousins, number 35, leaves it for a lookalike Lyle. Schofield, a backhander, taken away from him by Cousins. Well done by Cousins. A little left footer, high, Spinks. No mark. Brownless goes off the ground. Crowd want a free kick. The Cats just want the ball out.
Now that's where, I think you'd agree, Ross, that's where they lack that mobility up forward.
Yep. Now down to the boundary line, Dwayne Lamb.
Yes, as thought, he's popped the finger out and then put it back in and just iced it up, so it should be all right.
Well, here's a chance for a shot at goal by Cousins, and he's just missed. But he's showing enough in this game, Ross, to show he's going to be a very good player.
I said before, Pete, the young fellas get great experience playing in these sorts of conditions.
He's 17 years of age and playing
a bit of footy ahead of himself.
16 possessions and 2 goals to a 17-year-old on debut. Colbert to Mensch, who can't handle, and the ball out of play. So really, the Eagles' only win for the season was a very unimpressive first-up performance against Fremantle, and then 3 losses in a row.
Well, so I think even that game they only kicked 9 goals, didn't they? 8 or 9 goals?
Yeah, 9 goals, 13 that day. So it's kicking and winning score is the problem. Today they've kicked 10 goals. Jakovic has been centre half forward, centre half back, ruck. Comes off to Sanderson. Kick by Sanderson towards the outer side. Mensch out mark. Good mark by Mitchell White, who's taken 10 marks and coming up for his 16th disposal. Through Jakovic it goes to Lyle. Ball just outside the 50. He can't handle, and they've turned it over again. Mensch, he's lost it. Peter Matera, a bit of magic from Pete. Thump! Good long kick, but offline. Lovell is saying, why not me? I'm in the goal square. But I don't think he can complain about anybody.
Oh, no, and I think Matera's certainly in that situation. When you're coming across field like that, trying to avoid people, you can't look downfield then to see who's on.
Lee Colbert has been very, very good. There's McGrath. And here's Jason Ball trying to bend it back. Tanner will be happy to see this roll over the line. And that's exactly what happens. 20 metres around from the goal. The sting's gone out of the game now. And, well, Geelong will be still happy to come over here and come away with a win, Ross.
No doubt.
So we see Spinks. Here's Mainwaring on the left, trying to bend it back. And I think he might have kicked the goal here, Chris Mainwaring. He has for his third. Well, he's kept at it all day, Mainwaring, trying very, very hard. Good goal.
Yes, he'll always do that, no question, and it's been no fault of his. However, just lacks so much support there, and a number of the players, the running players from Geelong, have really alternated very nicely, and their possession rate much higher than what their West Coast counterparts has been.
Well, that's now their highest score of the season. 11-16 beats the 11-11 they kicked against Brisbane in the second round. But still not enough to win. 22 seconds remaining. Jakovic beats Brownless. And Another ball up in the centre. So when you're looking at around 9, 10 or 11 goals, it's not really enough, especially when you come up against a Geelong side who can confidently reckon they can kick 20 anytime they like.
And especially they're always playing in the near perfect conditions over here too, Drew.
Peter Matera charges through the middle, maybe time for another goal. They need a mark, and Spinks does mark with a second remaining. So Brett Spinks, who's kicked 1 goal 3, and his inaccuracy typified the side today. Jason Ball 2-2, Philip Matera in his debut, kicked 3 behinds. So after the siren, can Spinks get the Eagles' 12th goal? Good kick. Oh, it's a beauty. All too late for the Eagles, though. For the first time this year, they've kicked 12 goals. But the margin was 18 points at the end. And the umpire's being hooted, and there's articles being thrown onto the ground here at Subiaco Oval. But as we mentioned, the Eagles were ahead in the free kick count. And the police down in the race there to protect the umpires as they left the ground. And the players gathering out in the ground because shortly we're going to get the presentation of the Polly Farmer Foundation Shield to the inaugural winners. And Dwayne Lamb is down on the ground.
Thanks very much, Drew. Peter Riccardi, congratulations, a good win. You started very well as a team, but the Eagles chased pretty well.
Yeah, they always do over here. I mean, can't give Eagles, you give them 10 goals, they can come back and wipe you off the planet. You know?
How'd you find the conditions today? Did that get you a little bit? Was it a bit warmer than over east?
Oh yeah, but pre-season's over summer anyway, so you should get used to it. It's very early, but it is pretty warm over here. Sweat a bit.
Your form today was sensational. A great start. 5 minutes into the second quarter, you had 15 touches and kicked a couple of goals and ended up with 4. You'd be very happy with your form today and also for the start of the season.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far, but I still got to string 4 quarters together. I just can't seem to do that.
Yeah, something to work on. Well done again, mate. Congratulations. Thanks, mate.
Peter Riccardi, whose day included 4 goals, 5 marks and 22 possessions. And there's the final score. Geelong 16-10, 106, beating the Eagles 12-16, 88.